And hi guys, it's Shirley again from the Anderson Show. So this is part 3 of the Daniel fast and my conclusion. So what have I learned? What have I learned? What has God taught me? And have I got closer to God? Well, 100% yes. Absolutely. I am cheering for God. And if you haven't, okay, so maybe you haven't fasted at all. Do it, and do it so you can sit in the stillness and that quietness of God and just listen to his voice. It's beautiful. And the way God has taught me, I'm going to be honest, I don't think no man has taught me anything like that in life, not in school, college, university, at church, because I have questions all the time for God and he does answer them in his time. One question he took 10 years and he reminded me 10 years ago when I answered, and I was like, oh yeah. And I was like, wow, but it was a very timely answer. and because I wasn't ready to receive the answer, right? So God is amazing like that. So yeah, be encouraged. So what's my conclusion? Being on this fast, and I'm going to share that with you guys. So sometimes people are like, I don't really hear from God, or God don't speak to me. God speaks to everyone every day. And the thing is, because we are distracted, because we are not listening, or we're impatient, or maybe our heart's just not there because we're wanting it to be like an exchange, like I buy something, you give me money, I give you money, I take something. God doesn't work like that. Sometimes he just wants us to come humble and earnest and just thirsty for his word, hungry for his bread, his bread is his word, which is life, is that, that everlasting flowing water. Just, let him feed you without any. Sometimes we should just come to God, just say thank you, just our thanksgiving without anything in return. But we always want something, isn't it? And God just wants us to come and just to hang out with him sometimes. God, can we just hang with you and just chill? Sometimes I will just walk around the house and be talking and praying, and my little one's like, Mum, who are you talking to? And she's like, oh God, yeah, I forgot, you're talking to God, you're praying. And I'm like, yeah, because it's just really nice sitting down and having a nice conversation or praying, and even God convicting me or correcting me in that moment. I'm like, oh God, sorry, I'm sorry, God, at the same time. And when people say to me, yeah, but how do you hear God, or do you listen? Just because I sit down, I turn out all the distraction things off, TV, phone, whatever, and I just spend that quiet time with God. And sometimes that quiet time, Psalms 46 verse 10 says, be still, know that I'm God. Sometimes that quiet time is just doing nothing, but it's the hardest. It's just sitting and just listening and saying, God, I welcome you in my space. I thank you. Thank you for my home. Thank you for my children. Or if you don't have any children, thank you for my friends, my family, or just thank you for me, and yeah, just allow God just to fill, your home and your room and your soul with his spirit and his voice. And his voice is so quiet sometimes. If you're talking too much, you're going to miss it. But if you pay attention and if you're humble and really earnestly seeking him, you'll find him. He says, knock. Remember, God ain't going to force you. He's not going to, because you've got your own free will, he's not going to force you. But if you knock and you diligently seek him, he's there. Surprise! It's like, just open the door. I was like, oh God, there you are. And God said, I was always here. I was waiting for you to open the door, So my conclusion. So I'm going to be real. It hasn't been easy because, as I told you in the video part 1, I liked my food. So for me, there's something everyone likes. It could be, you could be, oh, I love fitness, I love running, I can't wait to wake up and, I don't know, just go to the park or eat something, smell something, drink something, go and see a friend, something, whatever it is. But with me, it's food. And so for me, when I have to fast, I really struggle with that. I really struggle to say, that's it, nil by mouth. So God has to really do a number on me, getting me and my mind set to fast with him. But what I found the first week, I had no energy. I think it was bedtime and I literally just knocked out. I was so tired, I had no energy. So you have to prepare yourself for that, and mentally as well. That's why I said, please drink a lot of water. But in doing so, I remember why I was fasting. So while I was fasting, I wanted to get closer to God. I wanted to draw closer to his word and to have a bit of understanding of, and especially being obedient. Like I said to you in the first video, sometimes, and again, my obedience is not like, way bad. It's just sometimes just not, it's a bit like a child. You tell them to pick something up and 10 years later, the thing's still on the floor and you pick it up. So sometimes God's just trying to, right, Shirley, listen, I'm talking to you. Listen the first time, don't let this be a lesson that could have been avoidable. And that's sometimes, I'm a grown adult, but I'm being honest, that's just sometimes, my downfall when I should have listened and didn't listen. And when something happens, you're like, It's like God says, so many times God will say turn right when I'm in traffic and I turn left or I go straight and then I hit traffic and it's like, then my sister will say, oh, do you know, if you would have turned right, there was no traffic down there. And God be like, what's the guy on TikTok? That's God to me. No words. Shirley, you should have listened. And I'm just like, oh, great. So, guys, it's just sometimes fasting just to say, God, give me the skills and tools to listen, to be obedient, just to sit with you and learn your word and to listen to your quiet voice. And also, how do I interpret that? How do I go out and, minister to other people? How does your word help me with my gifts and stuff? So okay, so let me go back a little bit. And I am now able, through fasting, to be patient. I've struggled with being patient as well with anything, even being on the road. Yeah, I do a little bit road rage, just a little bit. And even through the fasting, I'm almost talking to myself, Shirley, calm down. You getting stressed, is it going to solve anything? Is it going to take the idiots out of the road? Sorry. Beep, beep. No. Okay, so what are you doing? They can't hear you. They're still doing what they're doing. They've stopped. Some people, the road is so big and they can't drive there. Small cars, or they drive a big car. And you're thinking, so things like that. It's like in your everyday life, God helps you with everything. It's not just, I want a job, I want a car, I want a husband, I want this, and you're going to fast. And it's sometimes in the everyday thing. So just driving and asking God for more patience. And because I'm fasting, I'm hungry. My mind's more focused on God now because I'm fasting. I'm like, God, I need patience. So in this 21 days, these 3 weeks fast, oh my days, God has really given me patience. I've really slowed down like my thought process of just, sometimes we all can do it sometimes. I'm not an overthinker to the extreme, but we all got times where we can just overthink or overanalyze things. That has really slowed down. That really has. Say no to things, say no to people, spending more time with myself, spending more time in the word. The 3 weeks has given me that. Like before, it'd be just, okay, the phone thing I need to put down because I get lots of messages. I'm always replying, and God even had to tell me off. He had to, the Bible says God chastise those that he loves, which means severely rebuke, tell you off. So, God convicts me quite a lot when I've done something or said something to, then I have to repent and come into, the presence of God and really say I'm sorry. So in the 3 weeks, God has convicted me, especially when he told me to go upstairs and pray. And I got a text message and I was like, oh. And God was like, what are you doing? Put your phone down. I was like, oh, yeah, put the phone down and go upstairs and read. And I was like, oh, God, yeah, shame. And I'm just here by myself with God. And it's like, if you had a camera, you think, is she okay? Is she talking to? Is she okay? But God is really present. He's really here. And it's only when you really thirst and hunger for that relationship, you will have that relationship with you. God's here with me now. He's with you now. He's omnipresent. He's omniscient. He's always here, always knowing, all the time, always listening, always active, always present. And he just said, clear as day, put the phone down. What did I read? Pray. And I was like, okay. So in this 3 weeks of 21 days, yeah, God has just been active. He's all the things that I've wanted, to draw closer to him, to be obedient, and also not to worry too much. Little things I can worry about, the kids, or, just the day-to-day runnings, make sure I tick everything off because I like to organise my day and stuff. The 3 weeks has just been really nice, peaceful and chill, and the peace that surpasses all understanding has been my portion this 21 days. It's been really nice just to come into God's quiet time, and things are sort children still at school, run up and down, shopping, doing things, even my dad hasn't been well, he's been in hospital. It's just so many things going on. But in all of that, God has given me a peaceful walk with it all. Well, before it'd be like panic. And God's like, no, when you come to me, you're in my world now. Peace will be your portion. And as long as you want it and accepted it, it shall be your gift. And it has been, really has been. The first week I said was a bit rough. Obviously, suddenly going from eating a big meal to kind of thinking what I should eat and what I should drink. And then, as I said, going out in my last video, some days I've gone out the whole day and I've not eaten anything and just had some water because I hadn't prepared myself. Then I've gone to the shops and I realised, well, you can't eat this and you can't have that. And I've just ended up maybe buying a bit of nuts and whatever. But even that, sometimes I purposely said, you know what, no, because it's about not defiling yourself. It's about sacrifice. It's about, there's a purpose to it. It's not just about, okay, I'm not eating, I'm sacrificing. What else can I eat? What can fill the hole? It's actually, let me read my word, let me pray at this moment, and let me draw closer to God, and let me show God, look, I'm serious, God. I'm in it to win it. It's not a lottery, it's not a game. But if you said I'm really serious, and just to show God that as well. But God has really spoken to me, and He's really just said, Shirley, my daughter, I'm here for you. I love you. God's agape love, and I'll never leave you nor forsake you. I'm not a man that I shall lie. And He said, well, what is it? What do you want? And I've really asked for peace. I've asked for just a still mind, which God has given me after these 3 weeks. Obviously, I have lost a little bit of weight as well because you're not eating. So thank you to God. And I'm just going to try and continue it, because your body is your temple. And it's just been really nice. So anything you ask God for, there's so many people out there praying for all different things, but sometimes I really just want to get it right with God. So sometimes my prayers is quite simple. Let me listen, let me be obedient, let me come into your quiet place with you, God, and understand your word. Give me that discernment, give me that understanding and that knowledge of your word and of the Spirit. Allow me to, and also with people around you as well. Not everyone's your friend, not everyone you should keep company with. And sometimes when God has allowed that person to come in your life, even if they're not a good person, but they're for a lesson, learn to let them go. So just asking God to, because everyone's my friend, I'm so friendly and hey everyone, but not everyone is friendly with me, or there's another agenda. So even asking God through this just to help me to release, so that's my conclusion really. So the food's been a struggle, but it's gotten better. And I was able, as you can see from part 2 of the video, that, the foods I was being able to cook. And then there were some days that I didn't eat much because it was just, maybe busy, or maybe the same things. I thought, I don't want that again. But, I'm going to take this time and pray. And then God helping me with, just a bit of overthinking and being at peace and being just more happy and joyful, and just asking God, you know what, I want the fruits of the Spirit. I want to be happy. I want to have love and, self-control. And, but the main thing I ask God for is peace. The peace that surpasses all understanding. Let that be my portion. And it has been. So guys, I just want to encourage you out there. I love you all, and I thank you all again for watching and subscribing and, for sharing and liking this video. But more importantly than all of that, I just want to encourage you. And these are for those that, even if you're not God-fearing yet, just sit and have a conversation with God. Just sit and pray and ask God just to come into your life. And oh God, He's going to be so happy. He's going to be so happy. Like when He says you've got 100 sheep and one goes missing, He's going to stop and look for that one sheep and leave the 99 there. And if you're that one sheep, come to God. And I just want to encourage you all to pick up your Bible and read and fast and just say, God, I love you. Just come into my life. And it's that simple. And He will show up. So guys, thank you again. I hope you're enjoying the show, and just stay cute and bless all of you. Take care. Peace.